Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. It is Sunday. It's a nice day. Let's get to my lower high of act of kindness. Okay, I don't know what it was. Because, it's not like yesterday wasn't a super hot day, but man, like, from the time I left this apartment to, like, going out to my car and doing stuff like, going to church or whatever, like, I was thirsty. Like, real thirsty. It was actually like, man, I was so thirsty that, like, I got myself another case of water to bring to my mom and dad's house in case I visit them. Like, that's how thirsty I was. Which was actually my act. Actually, my mom told me to get her some butter and some celery. And I got water just because. Plus, I was also running low on soda, so I got myself some soda as well. What's my high? Actually, my high is today because, oh gosh. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what to talk about. Okay. So, I got nothing. Actually, I could talk about this, just a little nervous about doing it. It's the fact, like, I always have fun when I'm with my family, and when I was with them last night, we definitely had a lot of fun. But this was definitely, like, one of, like, the best nights ever with them. And not just because my nephews are on their best behavior. Well, they were sort of on good behavior, not better than normal, I'll say that. But for real. So, I'm with, because I meet my parents at their place after we all got back from church. Because we take out dinner from Giuseppe's in Corning. And, one of my nephews had actually gotten stung by a wasp. And my mom she's still, like, trying to spell out words for my nephews, even though they're 7 and 5. They don't really need to do that anymore. So my mom first spells, one of my nephews is Cranky. And then my nephew's like, I'm not cranky. And, they're both, again, my mom pointed out how smart they are. So I thought, you know what? This would be fun. So where my nephews were sitting, there's a big window of, like, the front yard and the neighbor's front yard. So I'm like, hey, look, there's a moose over there. They all turned around. And then my one nephew tried to get me back with it. Like, Uncle Nick, turn around. There's really something behind you, turn around. I'm just like, and it is actually kind of cool being able to teach, like, my nephews a couple things that are actually on more of a trivial side, like different names for states. Like, Alaska is I taught my nephews that Alaska is the land of the midnight sun, Ohio is the Buckeye State, Missouri is the Show Me State. Oklahoma is the Sooner State. Obviously, New York is the Empire State. So that was interesting. And I also got to teach my nephews a couple of tricks to play. Like, I taught them I have 2 coins that add to 30 cents. One of them's not a quarter. And yes, one of them's not a quarter, but the other one is. So, quarter and nickel. In the past, I've also done the whole, a rooster stands on top of a roof and lays an egg. What side will the egg roll off of? And, obviously, roosters don't lay eggs because, roosters are the males. What else happened? Oh, actually, one thing my nephews impressed me about last night was they actually asked me if I've seen Ice Age, which I have. I really should do a movies on that. Because, I've actually seen I saw the first 3 Ice Ages. Keep in mind, I was at, the right age when, Dawn of the Dinosaurs was the last one I saw, and come on, man, it's dinosaurs. Even at age 19, I believe, or when that movie came out, yeah, I'll watch it, sure. But after that, they really should have stopped. They came out with Continental Drift and Collision Course, which, from what, let's not beat around the bush. The Ice Age movies got, worse over time. Dawn of the Dinosaurs is where I stopped. And so, I didn't see Continental Drift or Collision Course. I know what they are because, again, I pay attention to movies and stuff. But it was funny, we're joking about, if you've ever seen Ice Age, one of my favorite parts in the first movie is the baby's crying, and they're trying to get the baby to stop crying. And Diego, voiced by the original asshole himself, Dennis Leary, is trying to do, "Where's the baby?" There he is, and he has, big clawing, teeth, whatever, to scare the baby. "Where's the baby?" There he is! And scare the baby. It's actually, that humor still works for me. It just does. And then, at that moment, Sid, voiced by John Leguizamo, and Diego start, arguing with each other. And then, Manny, voiced by Ray Romano, hits Sid on the head, and then it makes the baby stop crying. In fact, the baby starts laughing, and then Diego's like, "Hey, do that again." He likes it, and Manny hits Sid in the head. Man, it's making me feel better too. Ray Romano's delivery for some of his lines really does work. The scene where Manny makes a shelter for, and I'm talking this about my nephews, and my nephews and I were talking about this, where Manny makes a shelter, obviously big enough for him, and Sid just gets a stick, and Manny's like, "You got a stick?" "Yes, but with my highly scientific brain, ow, I should create fire." And then Sid's doing the whole rubbing the 2 sticks together in the middle of a thunderstorm, and Manny's just looking like, "Hey, I think I saw a spark." Yeah, the first Ice Age is good. The Meltdown's also kind of cool too. Maybe we could rapidly evolve into water creatures. That's genius said. Call me Squid. Yeah, been a while since I've seen him. It actually is kind of, yes, I am aware that there's going to be, I should have told this to my nephews, but there's another Ice Age movie coming out next year, I think, which, good lord, man, really? I will admit, though, the trailer did get me interested because it was actually a parody of the first Jackass movie with the music and everything. I mean, that's definitely a step in the right direction, I suppose. And all the while, I'm chatting up with my nephews about this, and it's funny. And I even got to show them one of my all-time favorite Simpsons clips. It was when the Simpsons parodied the Flintstones, where you hear the Flintstones sing da 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 da, and Homer's at the plant, and they bring the bell that the whatever it is, the horn thing that's sounding home. Everyone's like, yabba dabba doo! He does the thing where he serves on a giant pipe, and he breaks the window of his car, and then Homer says, Simpson, Homer Simpson, he's the greatest guy in history. From the town of Springfield, he's about to hit a chestnut tree. Ah! And hits the tree. That's funny. Yeah, the old Simpsons was actually great. There's a few Simpsons clips I've shown my nephews, actually. I show them, I am evil Homer, I am evil Homer, I am evil Homer, I am evil Homer. And then I showed him yesterday, I know you can read my thoughts, boy. Meow, 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 meow. The first one I ever showed, though, was, it's actually one that still gets me every time, is, now Homer, don't you eat this pie. I was like, okay. All right, pie, I'm just gonna do this. If you get eaten, it's your own fault. And he his head hits the vent that's over the stove. That made my nephews laugh. Actually, you know what? One funny thing I have shown my nephews, it's thankfully not Simpsons related, has been, there's this one really old, way back in the early mid 2010s, there was a trend of people using voiceover to make their pets talk, specifically usually their dogs. And there's this one, I think the dog breed was a German Shepherd, I could be wrong, where the owner's talking to the dog hey, you know what I made? Yeah. Made steak. Yeah, and obviously every time the dog moves his mouth, that's when the voiceover occurs. I got some bacon. Yeah. You got the maple kind. Yeah. Maple kind. Yeah. And I ate it. Ah! That was that's actually great. And speaking of pet videos, yes, I have shown my nephew's funny cat videos. I have. Actually, you know what? One of the funniest pet-related video I've seen that I have shown my nephews is actually one that a friend of mine made. Okay, so my friend has these two kids, a boy and a girl, and they have a dog, and the dog, his name is Teddy, I think, and the kids are sitting the boy is sitting on the couch, and the girl is on the edge of the couch but still kind of sitting down, and they make Teddy the dog put his paw on the couch, say paw, paw, and they make and every time the dog does, it gets the kids to laugh. What you barely see in the video is the fact that the little boy is holding a ham sandwich. So after the fifth time, the dog puts his paw on the couch, the last time, it looks like the dog's going to put his paw on the couch again, but instead he leans over and grabs the sandwich from the boy, and the little boy cries. And the mom who's filming this all is just laughing around. Like, it's one of the funniest things I've seen all year. Like, for real. Like, that's something, you know what? I get the feeling that's the sort of video that really should be on America's Funniest Home Videos. Again, just like kids playing with the dog, teaching a dog a trick, and, you know, the dog wanting a treat in return. So, you know what? I'm going to take the ham sandwich. Actually, I've shown everyone in my family that one. That was great. Although, my mom. Okay, so the first one in my family I showed that video to was my mom. And she sees what's going to happen. My mom has a really bad habit of, like, immediately thinking things are going to be bad, like, from the get-go. Because she sees the beginning of the video, she's like, oh, the dog's going to bite the kid. No, the dog's not going to bite the... Okay, my friend would never post anything like that. If that dog was going to bite the kid, then that video would never be put up. Okay, that's just common sense. So, my mom's, oh, the dog's going to... No, the dog's not going to bite the kid. So, thankfully, I convinced her to keep watching. And then it gets to the part where the dog eats the ham sandwich. And, yeah, it was great. It made my mom laugh. I showed my dad, made him laugh. I showed that to my nephews. It made them laugh. I even showed that to my brother and my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law was like, good boy, about the dog eating the sandwich. I mean, I never really talk about my family enough because they are kind of personal on me talking about them in, you know, my videos. I mean, obviously I wouldn't say anything bad about them. Of course I wouldn't. And I never said any of their names either. So no one knows. So unless you personally know me, you're not going to know who specifically I'm talking about. Actually, I mentioned that my nephew got stung by a wasp. They found a couple wasps' nests, and so they had to kill it. So that takes care of that. Yeah. Actually, that's one more thing I taught my nephews is bees are good, wasps are bad. Remember that, folks. Bees really don't want to sting you if they have to. They're the ones that make honey. And wasps, well, yeah, wasps are hornets. They can those wasps and hornets are not good. Bees are okay. We like bees. Hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, and chat on social media. As always, I'm your host, Ensue. If you guys watch your video, be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Remember, if you want to talk to you, let me know back. Take care. Make good choices. 607 all day, baby.